Hello and a very warm welcome. This is Meera Rajkumar from Pavanskranti Vidyashram. I am back with yet another poem from your Class 10 English textbook, First Flight. The poem is titled The Tale of Custard the Dragon and is written by Frederick Ogden Nash. Ogden Nash was born on 19th August 1902 in New York. For a short time he worked for Wall Street and then as a school teacher before becoming a copywriter. His first collection of poems, entitled Hard Lines, was published in 1931. He wrote over 400 pieces of comic verse. The best of his works were published between 1931 to 1972 in 14 volumes. The Boy Who Laughed at Santa Claus and Girls Are Silly are some of his famous poems. He is perhaps best known for his nonsense poems, and he died on 19th May 1971. The Tale of Custard the Dragon is a humorous ballad. Ballad, as you all know, is a poem or a song which tells a story. This is the story of a little girl whose name is Belinda. She lived in a little white house and owned many pets, namely Ink, a black kitten, Blink, a grey mouse, Mustard, a yellow dog, and Custard, a cowardly dragon. The poet has described all the characters to be brave and courageous except the dragon, who is a coward. But the entire situation changes when Belinda's house is attacked by a pirate. Now let's read and enjoy the poem, The Tale of Custard the Dragon by Ogden Nash. Belinda lived in a little white house with a little black kitten and a little grey mouse, and a little yellow dog and a little red wagon, and a realio trulio little pet dragon. Now the name of the little black kitten was Ink, and the little grey mouse she called her Blink, and the little yellow dog was as sharp as Mustard, and the dragon was a coward, and she called him Custard. Custard the dragon had big sharp teeth, and spikes on top of him, and scales underneath, mouth like a fireplace chimney for a nose, and realio trulio daggers on his toes. Belinda was as brave as a barrel full of bears, and Ink and Blink chased lions down the stairs. Mustard was as brave as a tiger in a rage, but Custard cried for a nice safe cage. Belinda tickled him, she tickled him unmerciful. Ink, Blink and Mustard, they rudely called him Percival. They all sat laughing in a little red wagon at the realio trolio cowardly dragon. Belinda giggled till she shook the house, and Blink said weak, which is giggling for a mouse. Ink and Mustard rudely asked his age, when Custard cried for a nice safe cage. Suddenly they heard a nasty sound, and Mustard growled, and they all looked around. Mioch, cried Ink. Oh, cried Belinda, for there was a pirate climbing in the window, pistol in his left hand, pistol in his right, and he held in his teeth a cutlass bright. His beard was black, one leg was wood. It was clear that the pirate meant no good. Belinda paled, and she cried, Help, help! But Mustard fled with a terrified yelp. Ink trickled down to the bottom of the household, and little Mouse Blink was strategically mouseholed. But up jumped Custard, snorting like an engine, clashed his tail like irons in a dungeon. With a clatter and a clank and a jangling squirm, he went at the pirate like a robin at a worm. The pirate gaped at Belinda's dragon and gulped some grog from his pocket flagon. He fired 2 bullets, but they didn't hit, and Custard gobbled him every bit. Belinda embraced him, Mustard licked him. No one mourned for the pirate victim. Ink and Blink in glee did gyrate around the dragon that ate the pirate. Belinda still lives in her little white house with her little black kitten and her little grey mouse, and a little yellow dog and a little red wagon, and her realio trolio little pet dragon. Belinda is as brave as a barrel full of bears, and Ink and Blink chase lions down the stairs. Mustard is as brave as a tiger in a rage, but Custard keeps crying for a nice safe cage. Moving on, let's read the stanzas individually in order to understand the poem in detail. Belinda lived in a little white house with a little black kitten and a little grey mouse, and a little yellow dog and a little red wagon, and a realio trolio little pet dragon. In the first stanza, we are introduced to Belinda, who lives in a white house with her pets. Her pets include a black kitten, a grey mouse, a yellow dog, and a dragon. They also own a wagon in which they used to go around. Now the name of the little black kitten was Ink, and the little grey mouse, she called him Blink. And the little yellow dog was sharp as mustard, but the dragon was a coward, and she called him Custard. In the second stanza, we get to know the names of her pets. The kitten being black in color, Belinda named the kitten as Ink. The mouse being very tiny, she named him Blink. And the little yellow dog was very sharp and alert, she named him Mustard. And finally, the dragon, who was a coward, she named him Custard. Custard the dragon had big sharp teeth, and spikes on top of him and scales underneath, mouth like a fireplace, chimney for a nose, and realio trulio daggers on his toes. Custard was a full grown dragon and probably he could defend himself against any danger because he had sharp teeth and he had spikes on top and scales underneath, and being a dragon he could breathe fire. His mouth looked like a fireplace and chimney for a nose, and he had daggers on his toes. Belinda was as brave as a barrel full of bears. And Ink and Blink chased lions down the road. Goes on to describe Belinda and all her pets to be very brave except for the dragon Custard. Belinda was as brave as many bears put together, whereas Ink and Blink were brave enough to chase lions down the stairs, and Mustard was as brave as a ferocious tiger, but Custard he preferred to be in a cage so that he would remain safe. Belinda tickled him. She tickled him unmerciful. Ink, Blink, and Mustard, they rudely called him Percival. They all sat laughing in the little red wagon at the realio trolio cowardly dragon. Belinda tickles him. She tickles him a lot to irritate him, whereas Ink, Blink, and Mustard, they rudely call Custard the dragon as Percival. Percival is a very brave knight in the service of Queen Arthur. They all laugh at him, they all mock at him, sitting in their little red wagon at the really truly cowardly dragon. Linda giggled till she shook the house. She laughed a lot until the house shook, and Blink said, "Weak," which is giggling for a mouse. The mouse too was giggling, making fun of the dragon. Ink and Mustard rudely asked his age. They were mocking at him. When Custard cried for a nice safe cage, he preferred to be in his cage so that he is safe out there. Suddenly they heard a nasty sound, nasty meaning a very bad and pleasant sound, and Mustard growled and they all looked around. Mustard the dog started barking and they all looked around. "Mioch!" cried Ink, and "Ooh!" cried Belinda, for there was a pirate climbing in the window. They could see a pirate. A pirate is a person who robs ships in the sea, a thief, climbing in the window. Window stands for window. They could see a pirate entering through the window. Pistol in his left hand, pistol in his right. The pirate had a pistol in each of his hand, and he held in his teeth a cutlass bright. He had a dagger, a sharp knife in his mouth. His beard was black. One leg was wood. One leg was made up of wood. This shows that the pirate was a disabled person, but he looked very frightening indeed. It was clear that the pirate meant no good. He meant to harm Belinda and her pets. Belinda paled. She was really frightened, and she cried, "Help, help!" But Mustard, the dog, fled with a terrified yelp. With a terrified cry, he ran away. Ink trickled down to the bottom of the household. Ink also ran away to the bottom of the house, and the little mouse Blink, strategically mousehole, it ran into its hole. But up jumped Custard, snorting like an engine. He made a loud noise through his nose and clashed his tail like irons in a dungeon. A dungeon is an underground prison, and he clashed his tail, made a noise, heavy noise with his tail, with a clatter and a clank and a jangling squirm. These are the sounds of hard objects falling on each other, clatter and clank. He went at the pirate like a robin at a worm. A robin is a bird which eats worms. Just like the robin pounces on the worm and eats it, Custard jumped or pounced upon the pirate. The pirate gaped at Belinda's dragon. The pirate was really shocked that he stared at Belinda's dragon, and he gulped some grog from his pocket flagon. To gather some strength, he drank some alcohol. Some drink was there in his pocket flagon. Flagon is a silver container in which drinks are stored. He gulped, he swallowed the drink from the pocket flagon. He fired 2 bullets, but they didn't hit. He fired at the dragon, but they missed the aim. And Custard gobbled him every bit. Custard swallowed the pirate fully. Belinda embraced. She was very happy and she hugged him. Mustard licked him. No one mourned for his pirate victim. Nobody felt sorry for the victim. Here, the victim is a pirate who was swallowed by the dragon. Ink and Blink in glee did gyrate. They started dancing joyfully. Glee meaning happily. They started. Gyrate means dance. They danced joyfully around the dragon that ate the pirate. But presently up spoke little dog Mustard. Now the Mustard, the dog, said, I would have been twice as brave if I hadn't been flustered. I was a little upset, so I had to run away. Otherwise, I would have been twice as brave. And up spoke Ink and up spoke Blink. We would have been 3 times as brave, we think. And Custard said, I quite agree. Custard was so humble that he said, Yes, I agree that all of you are braver than me, that everybody is braver than me. Belinda still lives in her little white house with her little black kitten and her little grey house and her little yellow dog and her little red wagon and her really truly little pet dragon. Belinda is as brave as a barrel full of bears, and Ink and Blink chase lions down the stairs. Mustard is as brave as a tiger in a rage, but Custard keeps crying for a nice safe cage.